Hey guys, so one more thing that we need to think about is we really need to start being more allowing for people to be who they are. Because there are too many stereotypes, there are too many fixed images of how people should be in the society, where it's like people feel afraid, they are afraid to express their uniqueness. People are scared to be themselves because they fear being judged. So there are so many people trapped in these limitations, in these fixed images that were put upon us, that were pushed on us, that we were influenced by all these pop culture, all this media, all this stuff that's all over us, that's bombarding us, that this is what's beautiful, this is what you should wear, this is how you should look as a woman, this is how you should look as a man, this is what you should be. And where people who are who know who they are, and they know they don't have to follow these images because they know that God created them this way for a reason. They know that this is who they are. They don't want to look like this person, in the magazine, or this person on the TV. No, they want to be themselves, and that's because they know who they are, and they know that God created them this way for a reason. So a lot of the time these people are not seen for who they are. They are like sometimes they're even shamed, for just being who they are and doing their thing. And people who are, so much under influence of these like media stuff, pop culture, all this, they just can't see past that limitation. They just can't see that people can be different. People don't have to look a certain way. And so then they start shaming those people who are just different, And it's okay to be different because we don't have to. We don't need to be the same. The world would be very boring if we were all the same. So there is a reason why God created us the way He did. And we should embrace it. We should embrace ourselves, right? There is no point following these whatever standards that are pushed on us anyway. And if you watch my other videos, you will see that a lot of stuff that's pushed on us, a lot of stuff that you see on the TV, a lot of stuff that is in the magazines, a lot of stuff that is told us that's beautiful is actually demonic. So by buying those things, by doing those things, you're basically cooperating with demons and the devil. As strange as maybe unusual for you as it sounds, if you start looking deep into it, this is what you will see. And I'm not saying we shouldn't be looking good, and all that, but it shouldn't be idolized the way it is. And we really need to be careful with what we are doing, but we really need to accept ourselves and each other for who we and who other people are, because you never know. You may shame someone just because they look different, just because they don't look like your magazine, just because they are doing their thing their way, and because you have your limited way of seeing people, like you're limited by these standards that are influenced on us, you may overlook someone very important. You may overlook someone, like a diamond, you may overlook someone like that. I've seen things like that happen. So people are just so quick, to jump to conclusions sometimes. But yeah, we really need, it's okay to be different, right? It's okay to be yourself, right? Why do we have to follow some standards that are demonic anyway? That tell you to change yourself, that tell you to change your body, to alter your body, that tell you to do things to yourself, that you are not good enough the way you are, which is basically the opposite of what God tells us. There is a reason God created us this way, and we need to respect it too. And it's sad. And sometimes it could be coming from our own thing too. It's not just other people, but like when you yourself are looking at these magazines and these TV shows and all this, you start thinking that that's what's beautiful. You start thinking that this is how people should be, and then you start underestimating yourself. That can happen too, and you start changing yourself and doing things to yourself, and then you look in the mirror and that's like a completely different person. That's not you. Yes, that can happen, and I guess that happens to a lot of people. Yeah, I used to color my hair, just by the way. And part of the reason I started doing it was because there were people telling me that there's something wrong with my hair color. And also I really liked this blonde color, so I guess these two factors pushed me to do this. But then there came a time when it's just like, no, I just want my own hair. I just want what's real. I want what's real, and I don't want any fake things. But this is not to judge anyone. But yeah, by the way, hair color is demonic too. Take it or leave it. But it's between you and God anyway. But just so you know, no matter what people do and how they decide to be, we should accept each other. And we should love each other for who we are. And not set these expectations or something. Especially that include these standards. It's okay to have healthy expectations of people, right? It's okay to, and we should be expecting people to be like, a good person, to do the right thing. This is the expectation that we need to have, and this is a healthy expectation, because especially in these days, we see a lot of weakness that's going on. But in terms of like looks or self-expression, as long as it's healthy, as long as it's according to God's word, there should be no more like standards or expectations, right? There are no worldly standards, really. Only the ones that come from God. And they are there for us. They are there to help us. Because if we don't follow those standards, and by that I mean God's word, right? It's like not a standard. It's how we should be. It's also to protect us, because if you go against God's word, you open doors to demons, and slowly, things really get worse. So, yeah. But the message for this video is to be more accepting of each other, and also to not to be afraid to be ourselves, you know? Because when you are being truly yourself, you are really with God. You are really like embodying the truth, right? Because that's how God made you to be. And you know, the closer you are to this truth, the better. You don't need to fake anything to people please, because after all, it's all about you and God, and it's all about pleasing God, really. It's not about pleasing other people. Anything you do, even the work you do, even if your work involves other people, your first priority is pleasing God. And everything else comes with it automatically. Like, by pleasing God, through that you will serve others too, if that makes sense. Like, your first priority, your first focus is God. That's number one in anything you do. And then everything else follows with that. And everything else you leave with God, and allow God to do the work that he needs to do. Yes. So let's be more accepting of ourselves and also of others, and also encourage people to be themselves. It's like, we don't need all those demonic standards in our lives. They're caging you, and they're only hurting you anyway. They're not to help you, they're like to make you feel bad about yourself, and to always look for things outside of you to make you happy. That's like a horrible cycle to be on. But yes, so that I don't go on and on and on and on about this, you get my message. So be yourself, allow others to be themselves, encourage others to be themselves, and be with God, and do the right thing at all times. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.